So guess what? The Democrats, you voted Democrat like a good boy, and they have complete control of government, and they're all sticking it in your ass right now. You're supposed to get COVID relief. Well, guess what? The Senate Democrats will deliver the American Rescue Plan and the bold COVID response Americans urgently need. No minimum wage, a one-time bullshit payment, and guess what about that payment? Senate Democrats have agreed to cut the unemployment insurance from $400 to $300 a week.
Brilliant.
Jesus Christ. Ben Spielberg, friend of the show, says classic Democrats deciding that they can't strictly improve the legislation. Everything good must be accompanied by something bad. Biden limits eligibility for stimulus payments under pressure from moderate Senate Democrats. Not even Republicans. Democrats. And guess what? That doesn't say the progressives are pressuring Biden the other way, because they're not. Meaning the Justice Democrats. Your heroes. The ones that we exposed for forced to vote for being not on your side. For the ones we exposed for being sellouts. For the one other YouTubers decided to defend and run interference for, and The Intercept and Ryan Gribb decided to run interference for. They're not doing anything to fight for you. Jack Uger just did a video yesterday where he had to cry on camera and beg them to do it because they're making him look like an idiot. He loves them. He loves them. He's doing it in a loving way, not like how we did it. You hold politicians' feet to the fire in a loving way. It always works, too, by the way. How's that working out? Democrats are means testing the aid, so it gets worse. So not only are they cutting the unemployment insurance, they're going to means test this fucking one-time COVID payment to you. You should be getting a COVID payment every month, like the rest of the Western world is getting. The Democrats aren't going to do it for you. They're not going to do it. They're doing the bare minimum of the bare minimum. During the campaign for the two Georgia Senate races, Joe Biden repeatedly promised to pass $2,000 stimulus checks if the Democrats won. After they did win, the administration argued that $2,000 really meant $1,400 in addition to the $600 they had already gone in December. It went from $2,000 to $1,400. Maybe, and now maybe some of you will get the $1,400. You realize that this isn't charity, right? This $1,400 COVID relief payment. This is the government not living up to their end of an agreement. This is one of the reasons why we pay taxes. Whether it's true or not, now Biden is inarguably breaking his promise. Under pressure from moderate Senate Democrats, Biden has agreed to cut down the formula under which the checks will be sent out. Again, Joe Manchin is threatening to vote against it, so he gets everything he wants. The Justice Democrats, no problem, we'll vote for any piece of shit you put in front of us, including Ro Khanna said that. The supposed justification here is that moderates want the aid to be more targeted. The formula is horribly inaccurate because what they're going to do...
Oh, yes, get this.
Is they're going to use your income tax from 2019 to decide how much... But those people lost their job. So someone making $80,000 in 2019 probably lost their job now. This is amazing. The formula is thereby doubly wrong. There are no doubt millions of people who have lost their jobs and should qualify, but won't. Hey, I lost my job because of the pandemic. Can you help me? It depends on how much you made at that job, but we might have a few fuck you payments laying around. The survival checks are one of the most popular government programs in American history. The polls have them at 4-1 approval. You really think the Senate didn't know that? Moderation for Senate Democrats apparently means breaking their party's promises in the service of unpopular, pointless actions that make their president seem less generous than Donald Trump. Yeah, so let's not do it. This is what happens when you have to choose between neoliberalism and neo-fascism. This is what you get. You either get Donald Trump sticking it in your ass, or you get a demented walking death rattle and a woman of color sticking it in your ass. You know, Joe Biden hasn't done a press conference as he was inaugurated. You know, he hasn't done a State of the Union address. By the way, Biden's final pitch to Georgia: vote blue and $2,000 checks will go out the door immediately. That was 2 motherfucking months ago. Isn't it weird that people living paycheck to paycheck are supposed to have months worth of savings for emergencies, while billion-dollar corporations are so poorly managed that they're on the brink of bankruptcy after weeks of reduced profits? Well said. Why are Democrats dragging their heels when the country is literally falling apart? Where's the sense of urgency? Because I'm super tired of seeing meaningless tweets with no action, step up or step down. And I'm going to tell you what's going on. I've said it in other videos. I'll say it again. Wall Street, just like they didn't want to actually bail you out of the mortgage crisis in 2008 and 9, they wanted you to go belly up and default on your mortgage so that they can take over your house again. They're doing it again. So Wall Street runs the Democratic Party. The 2 biggest Wall Street toadies in the Democratic Party are Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. They became president and vice president. Why? Because that's what Wall Street wanted. They called Barack Obama and they called Tom Perez and the DNC, and they said, these are our guys and those are our guys. That's why they're president. That's why they're in the White House. And so they told them no minimum wage and no COVID relief. Why? Because they want people to go bankrupt so they can take over their houses. They don't want people to be able to pay their rent. How would that help them? So then their landlord goes bankrupt and then they take over the apartment. This is exactly what they did before. There's no other excuse for why this is happening. This is a full-out assault on the working class in America, and the Justice Democrats are selling you out. Go watch the other shows. They won't even mention them. They won't even mention Ro Khanna, Mark Pocan, AOC, Pramila Jayapal, Rashid Tlaib, Jamal Bowman, Corey, but they won't even mention them. David Sirota mentioned them. He did an article at 3 a.m. after we called him out for not mentioning them. David Sirota dropped a Substack at 3 a.m. I'm mentioning them. I'm mentioning them. Friend of the show. Dr. Gibson McFuck Esquire says, what about this image makes the Bernie Bros think $2,000 checks are ever on the table? And, of course, it's the ad that says, you want a $2,000 check? Vote for Arnok. Wow. Okay, vote blue, everybody. You don't feel like a sucker, do you? You don't feel like a sucker. So this isn't happening in other countries. This is only happening in the United States, and it happened under Trump, and now it's happening under Biden. Hey, everybody, this is the part where I tell you where all our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then this is why I tell you to join our premium program and get extra content, but nobody's got a fucking job. So just enjoy the video.